Hello, folks.
You know, I subscribe to all the model airplane magazines, so when I got the October issue of Model Airplane News magazine, I was surprised to see a picture of myself and my P-80 in it. I was also surprised to see a night flying airplane called a Firefly in it. Well, then a few days ago, I got my issue of Electric Flight, and also saw the article on the Firefly airplane. They were general introductions and comments, and neither showed the plane flying in the dark. There were, however, pictures of the plane with green lights on the left wing. The left wing? When I saw that, I was dismayed, as that's backwards from what all airplanes have. And that is red on the left and green on the right. So at that point, I was determined to see if it could be changed, as the editor of the magazine said it came from the factory that way. So for a long-time night flyer like myself, this just seemed totally illogical. You know, that's like switching the brake pedal with the gas pedal and vice versa. Oh yeah, I suppose a person could do it, but in a panic situation, I'd probably, as others would, push the wrong pedal. I mean, what could go wrong? You know, it's the same with the airplane. Left is always red and green is always right. That's the FAA colors, and it's designed that way so a person flying in a real plane knows which way another plane in the sky was flying.
Well, many people have asked me how come they call me the NightFlyer. It's because I wrote the very first article on radio-controlled night flying in Model Airplane News magazine many years ago.
And that's the same magazine with this Firefly in it. Well, over a year later, and after introducing night flying at the Multi-Wing National Championships, I wrote another article in RCM magazine. As you can see from the verbiage, they didn't believe it could be done either. Well, since then, the invention of colored LEDs, the sport of night flying has really taken off. Well, all those colors and people that put a ton of lights on them to make them look like flying Christmas trees aren't too easy to follow. But this plane looked like it might make a nice machine because it had functional lights, not too many, and although unexplainable, they were backwards. I know real Chinese airplanes have FAA colors too, so this all seemed illogical. So my intention is to see if I can make the lights the proper way and show you how I did it. I was also very curious to the unique way of using ailerons on this plane, and that is, there are none. They're actually movable wingtips. I don't know how they're going to hold up, but I'm going to show you how they work and how they perform. So I went ahead and purchased the plane from motionrc.com. This is the place that also sells the genuine Mobius cameras that I'm most fond of. For that reason, I ordered and it cost $229. Came in 3 days. Let's take a look. The wingtips seem kind of flimsy, so you don't want to be doing any bashing into the ground with them. I don't have any batteries with these blue connectors, so I went ahead and changed out to a Dean's connector plug. Got a blue anodized landing gear. And we got the blinking light there. The first thing you want to do is to bind up your receiver. Remember to be at least 5 feet away so you don't swap it. Complete. Alright, this motor should work now. There's directions here to how to set up your speed controller with brakes and stuff. You don't want to brake. Plug in all servos, then the battery. The light circuit board plugs into the small battery connector. Plug in the elevators and wires, then screw down. Be careful to get the light plug out of the way and don't forget the carbon rod. Next, install the wingtip ailerons.
Okay.
Now plug in the Y harness for the aileron tips and plug it into the receiver. Make sure to check your directions. Mine were backwards along with the rudder. Plug the mark plugs into the printed circuit board. Switch P3 and P4 if you want proper FAA colors.
Okay, they seem to blink all the time, but I switched P3 with P4, and that at least gives me the left wing red and the green on the right wing. So that all seems good.
There's no directions for how to install the receiver, so I used Velcro, also on the satellite, and screwed down the printed circuit board. Next, screw down the landing gear and then install the prop and spinner. If you toggle the landing gear back and forth, you'll get different color combinations. I toggle mine to get red left and green right.
Well, that's the way I'm going to have to fly it, because there's red lights here. Even though these are blinking, I'll be able to tell. That's the mode that I'm going to fly it in.
Lastly, I put on my AMA number and FAA number. It looks good. Let's go fly.
Whoa. Boy, that thing needs some half rate. Jesus. Just falls out of the sky. Does that. That's the way I'm going to fly it right there. In my opinion, the wing is too big. It stalls at very slow speeds. You have to give it a shot of juice just before you land. And this landing gear, no matter how you land, it is too weak, as you can see. If I had my way about it, I would turn it around the other way, and I think I'm going to. But first I'm going to have to epoxy all this back together. As you can see, that's just horrible. So I turn my landing gear around, and I'm going to cover it up with a piece of race tape.